Have you ever noticed how sometimes the loudest message is in what's not being said? That's exactly what happened when Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White took the podium before their game against Seattle. What she didn't say about Caitlin Clark's recovery might be more shocking than what she did. But before we dive into this unfolding drama, hit that like button if you're ready for real stories the mainstream media won't touch. And make sure to subscribe because this saga, it's just getting started. The mood was tense. Reporters gathered, expecting a typical pregame briefing. But if you've followed the Indiana Fever this season, you know nothing's been typical. At 16-12, Indiana is battling for playoff ground. But the real story, it's not in their record. It's in the one name missing from the lineup, Caitlin Clark. Her absence has somehow made this team better, and her return could completely disrupt what they've built. When a reporter asked how the team's thriving without their star, Stephanie White's jaw tightened. She praised the team's depth and resilience, but avoided one key detail: how long they've really been preparing for life without Caitlin. And insiders are whispering they've been building this new identity for weeks in secret. The truth is, the Fever have unlocked something revolutionary. They're winning without a superstar. And that has people in high places, league execs, sponsors, even TV networks, very uncomfortable. Because when your entire marketing campaign relies on one name, what happens when the team starts thriving without her? But here's the real bombshell. When asked about Caitlin Clark's recovery, Stephanie White hesitated. She said recovery is going well, but quickly followed with, "We're being patient, avoiding setbacks." Translation, Caitlin's been pushing hard to return, maybe too hard. Sources say the medical team has repeatedly intervened to slow her down. This isn't just about recovery anymore. It's about protecting her from herself. And while everyone's watching Caitlin, someone else is quietly stealing the spotlight. Sophie Cunningham. She's been delivering clutch performances, even as some teammates reportedly freeze her out on offense. Yes, politics in the locker room are real, and what we saw looks a lot like intentional sabotage. Now let's talk about the other missing piece, Dana Evans. She's gone and the team is thriving. Ball movement, sharper. Defense, tighter. Energy, way up. Sometimes subtraction adds more than addition ever could. And while all eyes are on Caitlin's return, there's growing belief inside the organization. Bringing her back too soon could collapse the chemistry they've worked so hard to build. Coach White said their offense is now about patience and purpose, which really means no more hero ball. They've found a system, not just a star. But here's the million-dollar question. When Caitlin does return, can she fit into a system that no longer needs her to save them? Will role players accept going back into the shadows? Will marketing pressure override basketball reality? Stephanie White's answer, I still don't know how far we are. That's coach speak for, we're not rushing this. And they shouldn't, because this team is proving something powerful. Indiana Fever basketball is bigger than one name. But make no mistake, the league needs Caitlin Clark. Ticket sales, TV ratings, merch. The pressure to rush her back is immense. Yet Stephanie White is standing firm. Meanwhile, Kelsey Mitchell is struggling, 0 for 8 from 3 last game. But instead of forcing it, the team found other options. They adapted. They won. That's growth. That's maturity. Add in the impact of Aari McDonald, whose work ethic and speed have transformed their pace of play. And now some veterans are becoming expendable. So what happens next? Recent reports suggest Caitlin's recovery has hit unexpected hurdles. Yes, the team says it's normal, but insiders tell a different story. Frustration, delays, timelines shifting again and again. And Coach White's comments about playing for each other sounded less like strategy and more like a warning. In their game against Seattle, the Fever showcased this new identity. Instead of exploiting tired legs with one-on-one plays, they used depth. They rotated. They played strategic, sustainable, playoff-level basketball. And now, they're learning to win ugly, to fight through adversity, to rely on each other. That's not just team basketball. That's championship basketball. So here's the real story. Caitlin Clark will return. But the Indiana Fever, They've already evolved without her. The question is, will she adapt to them, or will the team be forced to adapt back to her? The answers will shape not just this season, but the future of the franchise. Before we wrap up, comment below. Do you think Indiana's better without Caitlin Clark? Or is this just a temporary hot streak? Hit subscribe and tap the bell, because we'll be tracking every twist in this story. This is more than a comeback. It's a power shift, and you won't want to miss what happens next.